Yeah. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Benefits for You Too, which is presenting a Senior Citizens Forum. I'm Janice Wood. My guest today is Justin Bithell. And as you could tell from his background, he's from Farmers Insurance. Justin and I talked about a couple months ago about safety issues for seniors. So I have him back on the show. He was on my first season show a couple of times talking about property and casualty insurances and how it affected seniors. So if you want to go back into my library on Facebook, it will be posted on Instagram and LinkedIn. You'll be able to find those shows. But real quick about me, I have had my license for about 14 years now. My expertise is in Medicare insurance, and right now it is the open enrollment period for those that have Medicare Advantage plans. That means if you didn't review it during the annual election period, you can have it reviewed right now. And if for some reason your plan doesn't work for you, you have two things that you can do. One, you can select another plan, or you can go back to original Medicare. I also do health insurance, and the open enrollment period is still going on right now. It will go on to May 15th because of the changes in the federal government, and the federal government has reinstated the penalties. So you need to pick it up. If you're here from California, not only do you have the federal penalty, you have the state of California's penalty. But we're going to talk about safety in the home for seniors. And I did not realize, and I saw some statistics that were pre-COVID-19, and 160,000 Americans die every year from accidents in the home. And 75% of those accidents could have been prevented. And accidents in the home, and again, I'm going to say this is pre-COVID-19 figures, were the third largest cause of death in the United States. I thought that was pretty amazing to look at. Real quick, I'm going to share my screen, and I have some figures I want to show with for seniors. Did you realize that 25% of hospital admissions are seniors who have fallen in their home, and 40% of those will go into admitted into nursing homes? Another 40% will never go back to independent living, and 25% will die within 1 year of those falls. I know personally that my mother was 85 years old. She was out there driving all over the place. She fell, and it was downhill after that. And she did die 6 months after that fall. And she did live in a nursing facility. So we're just very, it does happen. I have a friend that who has fallen many times, and she fought to keep her independence. Because I'm a senior, I know I want to be independent, but I watched my friend fight for that independence, and we now have her placed into a nursing type facility because she no longer can live on her own. And every time I talk to her, is talking about getting out to be on her own. So it's something that's really traumatic for seniors. Justin Bethell, I've known him for a couple of years right now. I actually have known some of his family members for a long time, okay? But Justin is with Farmers Insurance, and I want to congratulate Justin. He's been with Farmers 5 years, and over the last year and a half, 2 years, he's been working on having his own agency, and he just achieved that.
Yeah.
So congratulations, Justin.
Oh, thank you.
I know it's not easy, and I will just say if somebody's interested. When I first started doing insurance, I went with Farmers because of their reputation of being so good. but their standard is just really high. And
Right.
I didn't want to work that hard. So I know how hard Justin had to work to achieve this. So again, congratulations.
Well, thank you.
And I know you get phone calls from clients who've had accidents, not only automobile accidents, but accidents in their home.
Right.
Yeah. And you sent me yesterday a list of what insurance companies look for
Yes.
that can
Yes.
help prevent those accidents. So let's start talking about that. And with your permission, I want to, at some point, I can bring up that list.
Okay. Sure. Sure. So I mean, there's two different aspects, really. I mean, obviously, from the senior itself, if they're living in their home, that's more of a health insurance related thing. Whereas from a liability standpoint and from the homeowner's insurance standpoint, it's more about what if you had someone else in your home who then hurt themselves and sued you, or or is there maintenance issues that would cause damage to the home itself that would be responsible of the homeowner's insurance, right? So what a homeowner's insurance company looks for is they're constantly looking to make sure that their insureds have a home that is properly maintained. So they're looking at the roof. They're looking. They look at all sorts of things. I've had people that have been rejected because they had a branch on a tree just touching the roof, just a little bit. But that's enough where if there was a fire, it could spread to the roof, right?
Right.
So there's, so is the roof in good condition? Is there cracked and peeling paint? Those are, they want to make sure that everything is being properly maintained. Is there any places where something can fall? Or someone can fall. So is there like a walkway where there's no steps, but it's a really steep slope? That
But
would be a
also
problem.
I know for seniors, because I can go by what I'm going through as I
Right.
see my body changing. Um, Going up and down stairs are not always the best thing.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. And that may not only be a staircase in your house, but what about the stairs coming into your home?
Right. Right. I mean, and these are major problems. I mean, people fall downstairs all the time, you know. So do you have a railing? How secure is the railing? Are there loose steps? Is the railing gonna give way? Is there you know i- is there too much of a spacing where a kid could squeeze through? Right. These are all things that could potentially cause big problems, and that's not just for insurance. I mean, for the person that's living in the home, it could be them you know that's victim to it, right?
I have a friend who lives out in the Riverside area,
Okay.
and she has a very steep stairs. And I know when I've gone to go down those stairs, there is no railing because of the way the architectural look of it is
Okay.
at a certain point. And now I'm going to say to her, you need to add more railing.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, there
Yeah.
is railing, but if you're going down, there's a rail look on one side, and then on the other side, there's nothing. But as you're going down, there's no way to hold on to the railing.
Yeah, that's dangerous. That's dangerous. And usually, if there's more than about 3 steps, an insurance company will cancel the policy.
Yeah, so I'm good. I never thought about that.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah, no, we have, and another one is like, this isn't really so much for, coastal Southern California, but if you go up into the mountains or in other areas, um, is there a place on the walkway where ice would congregate? Right. So if the rain freezes overnight, is someone going to slip and fall when they try and walk down the walkway? right? Is there like a dip? That's
Well,
it.
yeah, I know in California it rains sometimes, and you
Yeah,
have that
sometimes.
situation where you slip
Yeah,
on the water going, going down.
yeah, yeah. But I mean, ice in particular is even more dangerous, right? So we have clients where they have second homes up in the mountains,
Yeah.
and that's always something that they're on the lookout for, you know.
But I would think even here you could still slip on the stair.
Oh yeah,
They left some debris like you know a so-called fall here. The leaf has fallen, or those mailers that just get thrown out at you.
right. And there's anti-slip tape if your particular stairs, especially outside, are made of a material that's particularly slick, and your shoes have trouble grabbing. There is anti-slip tape that you can put down. It's
I,
basically
I
like sandpaper on tape.
I know as a senior, my eyes aren't like what they used to be. Okay.
Hmm.
I sometimes I think there's something there that's not there and that it isn't there. I mean, it just it just I know other people would have the same type of a problem, or your balance isn't what it used to be. So it
Hmm.
that's important. I know in your home you can look out for, make sure your floors are in a decent condition. So that's not only removing throw rugs, or
Yes.
or if you
Yes.
yeah, or if you have, like, my house is almost all hardwood floors. Make sure that those hardwood floors are even.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. So is it, and hardwood floors is another one, where not only people but animals will slip on those sometimes,
Right.
and hurt themselves. So you have, but if you're wearing not non-slip footwear, and I mean, they make that even for socks or slippers and stuff like that. That would help prevent that as well. But another big area is pools.
Is
You
what?
know, is pools.
Okay. Pools.
Pool
Yeah. Oh,
lots
yeah.
of yeah, accidents happen around pools.
Oh, definitely. And I think as a senior, uh, we shouldn't be out there swimming in that pool without somebody else around.
Right.
Right.
Right. And now, of course, what happens in an emergency, right? Because if you have limited mobility,
Hmm.
for instance, it's gonna be much harder for you to respond to a fire in your house than it would be for someone who's, very athletic, right?
Okay. Well, we've got two different subjects going here.
Okay.
Fire is a major one, and I want
Right.
to talk about, but let's go back to the pool. So
Okay.
not only is the pool area, if you're by yourself and something happens to you, and say you had a heart attack and you can't respond
Right.
while you're in the pool, it's important. I know when our children were young, and I know Justin has young children, okay?
Mhm.
And we were always concerned, or those children, you didn't want to leave them alone in that area of the pool. It had to
Right.
be safety. But I think as we become seniors, you still have to be watch out for something that could happen. Or if that pool area is wet around the pool, can you slip and fall?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah. And so the ones that insurance companies are looking for is they're looking for slip areas around the pool. They want to make sure that the pool is filled, because if the pool is not filled with either like potting soil, sand, or water, then it's typically ends up being used as a skate park. So they want to avoid that. Um, and so it has to be filled, and then they want to make sure that there's adequate fencing around it. You know,
Absolutely. But as seniors, we do need to make sure that we're taking precautions to make sure we're protecting our own own selves.
Right.
Okay.
You're right.
Now, you brought up that we're going to change now over to the other subject you brought up was fires.
Okay. Yeah, an emergency of some kind. I used the
Right.
fire as an example. Yeah.
And I found that some of the statistics that I looked up said that people between the age of 65 and 74 are twice as likely to die in a fire.
Yeah. Awful.
And if you become between 75 and 84, you're 4 times as likely to die in a fire.
That's awful.
And people ages 85 and older are 5 times likely to die in a fire. That tells me that if you're smoking, okay.
Their problem is that they can't get down enough. So smoke rises.
Right.
And so when you're in a fire and you need to escape, you want to get down as low as possible.
Okay. And then the other thing I would think for seniors is that lots of times you go start something on the stove and you're going to create a fire.
Oh yeah, no, that actually happened to my wife's grandmother before she passed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, do you have any other things that you can help us with fires? How to prevent those fires?
I'm sorry?
How to prevent those fires? What would you recommend?
So the biggest issue with fires is kitchen appliances.
Okay.
So and specifically not being used properly for their intended purpose. So like a deep fryer, you know, a lot of times those deep fryers are actually meant to, you know, like if you're deep frying a turkey for Thanksgiving dinner, you know, take that thing outside, because if that thing starts splattering oil all over the place at that temperature, it's going to, you know, it's going to catch something on fire. So the danger point is actually bringing it in and bringing it out in that particular case. You know, so there's you know, all sorts of things where people are using the toaster improperly, or you know, using that the toaster oven, you know, toaster ovens, you know, things like that, pressure cookers. When you're, you know, so you want to make sure that you're using it for their intended purpose, that it's in good condition. There's no frayed wiring. There's no, you know, it's not way past its life expectancy, you know, things like that, you know.
Well, that's interesting. Like appliances, they get older. Like I have a
Mhm.
20-year-old refrigerator. Okay.
Right.
Do appliances catch on fire that are that old?
I haven't heard of a case with a refrigerator. I mean, could be. I'm not familiar with the case.
Okay.
You know, but it's more like the toaster, the toaster oven, deep fryers. Those are big ones.
Right, those are big ones.
Yeah.
And I know people will forget and leave the stove on after
Mhm.
they take things off. Have you had claims like that?
I have not personally have claims like that, but I do know agents who have, you know, where they've, you know, next thing you know, you got an entire kitchen that has to be rebuilt or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, you know.
All of a sudden, all the smoke alarms. Now you're supposed to have smoke alarms in your house, so that.
Yes, and that's another, you know, and fire extinguishers and a carbon monoxide detector.
Right.
You know, everybody should have those in their home.
Yeah. So that's really interesting. Now, what about other things? Like not all homes have fireplaces. So
No.
we have a fireplace.
Right.
I'm
Yeah, what do you mean with fireplaces? Like there's the zero clearance fireplaces that can be a problem, because there's, you know, they could have carpet going all the way up to there.
right.
You want to make sure that there's an area where if there's sparks that come out, that it doesn't catch fire, right? So there should be tile out in front, tile around it. You know, that's a big issue. And then again, same thing, you know, use it for its intended purpose. We actually had a client, this is a good story. We had a client where when the inspector was going out to their house, they lived in a high fire area. The inspector goes out to their house, and they're burning wood in a gas fireplace with no spark arrestor. And so the insurance company didn't know it was a gas fireplace yet, and they and they say, well, you know what, if you're going to be burning wood, you have to have a spark arrestor at the top of your chimney. And the guy goes nuts about it, that, this is a gas fireplace, how dare, there's no point in having a spark arrestor, this is a gas fireplace. And then takes a picture of his key and sends it to them. And in the fireplace, in the same picture he just sent it over, is a good 6 inches of ash in the fireplace from when he was burning wood that he didn't bother to clean out before sending that picture.
I can see that if you're a senior, it becomes harder to clean things.
Yeah.
So you're not having it cleaned out like you normally do, or you're forgetting about it, but it sounds like I have a fireplace, I have never used it.
Same.
And so I would never think about cleaning that.
Right, there's no need. Right. Yeah, we have the fake logs, and they've never once been burned, so, they just sit there.
So I'm thinking about, I need a chimney sweep to come clean out everything.
I mean, if you're burning wood, you absolutely do. If you're burning gas, it's not really an issue, but creosote buildup is a big issue with wood burning chimneys.
I'm thinking about Mary Poppins, but
right.
but during
right.
that period of time, they actually were still cooking in the fireplace.
Yeah.
Part of their intended use way back when.
Yeah, but I mean, if you have a gas fireplace, it's not designed to handle the wood,
Right.
All that smoke and everything else. Like it's going to be a problem,
Okay, so that I'm going to ask you another question. I don't have tile around my fireplace. It's all brick.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, the same thing.
That's
same
the
thing.
same.
Not carpeting.
No,
right.
I don't have any carpeting in the house, but
yeah.
But I wouldn't put a throw rug there either.
Right. And that's where people get in trouble is, spark comes out and there's a throw rug there, there's carpeting there, there's something like that.
I mean, you always see that picture, the scene of the fireplace going and the dog sleeping on that carpet. That carpet.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't do that.
So, especially as seniors, as we start to have trouble seeing things, I'm fortunate I'm not on a walker or a cane or any of that type of thing yet, but other seniors are. Those carpets can get, walkers and canes can get caught on those throw rugs. It's just very easy to have an accident.
Right. And so from a homeowner's insurance standpoint, they're worried about, they want to make sure that their liability is as minimal as possible. And that also ultimately protects, their clients, but they're not responsible if that individual senior is the one in the house. Right. And they trip over a throw rug. That's not a homeowner's insurance issue. That's a health insurance issue, and that's more your expertise. Right. So what do health insurance companies do to help out with that?
Well, under the Medicare, there are some Medicare insurance companies that will send people out to look at the safety of your home, especially if they know you've been designated a person of high risk.
Okay.
Health-wise. So it just depends.
Is that all health insurance companies or just some?
No. Some Medicare carriers do it and some don't.
So my in-laws have Kaiser. Do they do it?
I don't represent Kaiser for Medicare. I don't believe they do, but I may not be correct on that.
What? Yeah, because my grandmother does too. What about the VA?
Well, the VA, that's completely different. That's totally different insurance. You have to be a veteran to even have that. VAs have their own insurance. I have a lot of VA clients that pick up other health insurance besides the VA.
Yeah.
Okay, because sometimes just you can't get into the VA. So that's a completely different subject.
That's my father-in-law's issue right now, actually.
Yeah,
You know.
but because VAs do have original Medicare, and they elect to have that, but they should have a Medicare Advantage plan along with it. It doesn't cost them anything extra, and there are Medicare Advantage plans are specific for VA people. But we're talking about injuries.
Right.
I can
Right. So they don't do that though, is the point.
I if they have straight VA, I can't see them coming out to the home to help them out with that.
Okay. All
But
right.
there are other private insurance plans that do that.
Okay. They'll work with Medicare and do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like the lady that I have power of attorney for,
Hmm.
we had the insurance company come out and they looked at it. Not only will the insurance companies come out, but a lot of your medical groups will have an advocate or a nurse that can come out and look at the safety if it's a problem inside the home.
Okay.
So I believe Kaiser would have that because I think they're pretty much required to do that
Okay.
on the medical group side. Because there are what they call medical advocates, and if there are problems, you should be going to the medical advocate for whatever medical group you are part of.
Okay.
Okay, and some of the Medicare insurance carriers do have that as a additional benefit.
All right.
Okay,
Okay.
those are different questions for me. I very rarely asked that type of a question. Okay.
Well, that's neat that they do that though, and it's smart on their part also, because that, like you said initially, that's the majority of their expenses.
So now my other question is now what as a senior, I see in my neighborhood, because I'm definitely still in independent living, and I
Hmm.
see some of the seniors walking around where I live, and they'll have walkers. If they fell on that uneven pavement, which is in so many cities, okay?
Oh, it's every city. Anytime a tree's nearby, you know.
Yeah, so say that again.
Anytime a tree's nearby on that sidewalk,
Yeah,
it's only a matter of time, right?
yeah. I mean, so would their homeowners cover any type of a fall on that?
If they got sued because, let's say, they had their parents over, and their parents fell, or a friend or family member or something like that, and that person sued them, then the insurance company would kick in. If they fell on their own sidewalk, then that's where the health insurance the health insurance takes care of that. That wouldn't be a homeowner's insurance thing.
All right. Now, what if they have a senior friend come over? Okay.
Yes, right. And
And
so
they
that's when, yeah,
fell on your
yes,
property.
yes, happens all the time.
Yeah. So,
Ha-
so their
yeah,
homeowner's insurance would cover that?
the homeowner's insurance covers that person's, the homeowner's liability for that, right? So through the liability insurance, you know and that tends to be cases where steps were involved, in my experience. So they're going up a steps, they're going down a steps, there's no railing, there's like 3 steps to the front door or something like that, no railing, and someone slips and falls.
So basically, if you fell in your home, unless there was something structurally wrong with the house, okay?
Right.
Okay. And I'm going to bring up your list in a second. All right.
Okay.
Okay. Um, some of the following would be going to their Medicare insurance.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, so their health costs would go to the health insurance,
Okay.
right? If it's in their home.
So,
If like they, you know, I mean, whatever. Let's just use just a random example. Let's say a grandparent is taking their kid trick or treating,
yeah.
and they slip and fall in your driveway. Then the person that owns you as the homeowner could be sued, and then and your homeowner's insurance would protect you from that.
Okay. That's interesting to know. Thank you. Now, with my home, I know with car insurance, if I get something stolen out of my car,
Mhm.
it's going to be covered by my automobile insurance. So if I slipped and I fell,
No, actually, no. If
no?
homeowners, if something gets stolen out of your car, and there's no other damage to the car, it was just a theft, that's actually covered by your homeowner's insurance.
Oh, okay, very good.
Yeah.
What I was trying to get at, but thank you for that information. What I was trying to get at, would you be covered if, say, I'm at the grocery store and I fell? Would I be covered under that?
Um, no. So in that situation, let's say that so you're at the grocery store and they have a throw rug or whatever that trips you up or something.
Right.
That would be their liability insurance that would cover that.
Okay. Well, thank you for the information that you have for us. I want to share on the screen Justin's email to me yesterday. I'm looking for it. I am not finding it. Let me see if this is it. Nope, not it. Stop sharing. Well, I thought I had it up and it's not there anymore. Okay. But he sent me, it's like a whole
We can put it like in the show notes or something.
Right. If anybody's interested in it, they can contact Justin. They also can contact me. But it's really interesting what the insurance companies are looking at in your homes.
Yeah, it's very, very extensive. It's very, very extensive. So they're not, I mean, they're looking at the home for all sorts of purposes, from water damage potential to fire damage potential to liability potential. And that includes slips and falls. That includes, all of those things, because they never know who's going to be coming to your house, right?
So just real quick, if I had, say I'm living in a condo or I live in an apartment
Okay.
and I now have renter's insurance.
If all right, so you rent out this condo, okay?
Right,
Okay, or apartment, yes.
right.
So
So,
renter's insurance covers your personal stuff and it covers your liability, and that's about all that renter's
so it's
insurance
not
covers.
gonna, yeah, so we're gonna go back to the health insurance again if
Yeah, yeah. So if you had renter's insurance, but same sort of thing. If you had a senior friend, or even not senior, but you had a friend over that slipped and fell, then your liability portion of your renter's policy is what would protect you in that situation.
okay. So am going to bring up how you can contact Justin and myself. We have we live in this wonderful age now. It doesn't matter where you live. You can do business with anybody almost anywhere.
Right?
For us insurance agents, we just have to have that license for that area.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It's an amazing thing during COVID that not everybody's just going bankrupt right now.
Yeah. So during COVID, we're doing a lot of business over Zoom. I know I've
Mm-hmm.
done a lot of business over Zoom, and I know we're going to continue. I think it's changed some of the business culture. But here's how you find us. Justin will have, if you want to contact him, that list of all the different things insurance companies have when they're insuring you to see what's correct in your home. I would recommend that you do get that list because it can help you prevent an accident from occurring, from tripping. It can prevent fires. And the statistics that I was reading is fires are something that happens a lot for seniors. Okay, so not only falling. So that list that Justin has is really a good list to have to see. You can contact me or you can contact Justin. If you're interested in finding out what insurance companies, Medicare insurance carriers are out there that will come out to your home and see what your needs are to make you safe, please contact me. Well, Justin, this has been fun as always.
Yes, always a pleasure,
I always
Janice.
have fun talking on the phone.
Yes.
We talk very many different types of subjects.
Right.
And we always come up with something that pertains to seniors.
Right.
So have a really great rest of your week. And thank you, everybody, for attending. And we'll be on next week with Shane Cornblum from Wells Fargo Financial. Have a great week, everyone. Bye.